Vanakkam. We are here because we are all affected by COVID, and you have questions about JIPMER, and we are trying to address that. So JIPMER started its facility for coronavirus patients on 27 January, very early. Also, our lab was one of the first labs in the country to start offering RT-PCR test. Government of India asked us to make a separate isolation facility for coronavirus, which is ready. It has about 250 beds. It is something called SSB Annex building, where we have created this separate coronavirus ward. We are a designated COVID hospital. We have been, in addition, we have been doing tests. We have done about 6,000 tests in our lab. For all hospitals in Pondicherry, we do the tests. We have 3 patients with COVID at this time. Of these 3 patients, all of them are stable, they are improving, and they do not have any major complication. We are continuing to run our emergency services. These emergency services include maintenance dialysis, patients who are on regular dialysis, so they are continuing to get their dialysis, 100 such patients. We are doing radiotherapy, we are doing chemotherapy. Of course, the procedures take longer because between procedure the radiotherapy machine has to be sanitized, etc. But we are doing those. Emergency services are all continuing. We are admitting patients from emergency. Even today, we have 600 plus patients in our ward. These are patients with serious conditions, emergency conditions. We do 15 to 20 emergency surgeries daily. We do high risk deliveries and including cesareans. Blood bank is continuing. Blood donations are occurring. It is difficult to organize camps, so a lot of blood donations are being done by the JIPMER staff itself, and the blood transfusion facilities are continuing. On 22nd of April, we started OPD facility by teleconsultation. Patients can call a number 0413 229 8200. We have given you a write-up. Sorry, in that the time is not mentioned. The phone number is available from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You call, they will ask you your registration number for the old patients. So this is only for old patients right now. They will ask you your registration number. They will give you a date and time. Department doctor will call you at that time and will discuss with you what the problems are. They will give you advice. And from tomorrow, we are starting a totally new thing. And that is, the doctor, if he feels that he needs to see you, he will give you a date and time. At that date and time, the patient can come to the OPD. When they come at the reception, they will be asked about appointment. Only those will appointment. The patient and one attendant can go in. They will have a screening. Their temperature will be checked. Some other details will be asked. And if the person passes through that screening, they will go to the OPD. They will be seen by the doctor, and accordingly things will be done. The other major issue that patients are wanting is medicines. We have taken around, we are trying to identify a place where we can think of distributing drugs by having social distancing. In the next 4 or 5 days, we will set up a facility where patients who have been seen previously, they may not be seen, but based on the old prescription, they will be given the same medicines if they have been taking those medicines for a long time. That will take 4 or 5 days to set up. We are working on it, and gradually this will happen. So the main thing is we cannot start everything suddenly. If we start suddenly, We used to get 8,000 patients in the OPD every day, sometimes even 10,000. If all those patients and their attendants, whose number is even larger, they all come, then there will be no social distancing possible and there will be spread of disease from the hospital OPDs. Therefore, we are gradually going stepwise. We started teleconsultation. 2-3 days ago, we started something called video consultation. Now, from tomorrow, we will start OPD consultation only by appointment. And once that goes, gradually, learning from this experience, we will go on making things easier. And next week, we hope to start distribution of medicines also. So we need everybody's cooperation. We are aware that people are facing problems. However, so we are trying to do things, but it will have to be done in phases. It cannot be done all at one time. But every 2-3 days we will do new things and we will make things easier for people. Thank you. Nandri. Sir, there has been a bit of a limitation. Actually, I also missed out in this. It works from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So Monday to Saturday. Today is a holiday. Today, central government holiday, so we are a holiday. You try tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I have myself tried repeatedly. At that time it works. So my request is, in this paper that we have given you, it's not written, please mention the time, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay? And once this works, and this is not one number. These are 10 telephones, but they carry one number. So this is 10 lines. Many people said one phone number, how can it work? It will be busy. No, it is 10. So as to make it easy for people, we have talked to BSNL. For 10 lines, they have given the common number. It's a hunting facility. So from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today is a holiday. Tomorrow it will surely work, sir. I have tried myself. It works. Okay, so that is. But it is possible that occasionally there are problems. We can, now that you have said that, I will look at it again. I will have it looked into.
No, you ask.
You ask. We will ask me in Tamil. Ask me in Tamil. We'll do that.
புதுச்சேரியில் கூட பல தனியார் கல்லூரிகள் மற்றும் மருத்துவமனைகளில் ஓபிடி ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. நம்ம தான் புதுச்சேரி மாநிலம் முழுவதும் கவர் பண்ணக்கூடிய நம்ம மருத்துவமனையில் ஏன் ஆரம்பிக்கல? நேரடியாக மக்களை சந்திக்கிறதுக்கு, நோயாளிகளை சந்திக்கிறது.
He is telling that all the private hospitals and the other hospitals in Pondicherry have started functioning. Why is Jipmar not functioning?
There are 2 or 3 reasons. Firstly, small facilities can work. We ourselves have a rural health center and an urban health center. We never stopped that because there only a small number of people come, things are possible. The problem is, so we can do this small meeting, but if I was to call 500 people, it will not be allowed, right? I cannot call 500 people. Even that I have, with this many people, I have done in a big hall so that people sit at a distance. You can see, normally we would not have sit that far. Even when we came, we were sitting in separate places. So in a big hospital, that is the first problem. The second problem is we are a designated COVID hospital. We have set up that facility. I cannot take you inside, but I can possibly share with you some videos. We can share with you tomorrow. So there are a lot for each patient we end up getting many doctors. Now you will say, but Jipmar has only 3 patients. 3 confirmed patients. But in that facility we have 50 or 60 suspected patients. Even suspected patient has to be treated like a confirmed patient. Actually, suspected patient takes more time, energy and resources. If there are 3 infected patients, they can be in one room and one doctor or one nurse can see them. When they are suspected, it is possible that out of 3, I am infected, they are not. So every time anybody comes, doctor, nurse, they have to change, because otherwise they will come, they will touch me, from me they will infect the other people. So suspected cases, please understand, take a lot of effort. And we have and those patients actually, they come, They stay there for 12 to 24 hours. Testing is done. If it is negative, they are being shifted. Okay. So nearly all serious patients are ending up like this. So in this patient place, every day 20-30 patients come. All this is done and then they are shifted. In that, so many nurses, doctors have got occupied. Also, 50 of my people have been quarantined. This patient came, there was no suspicion that this person has COVID infection. She was in one ward. Every doctor is coming, every nurse is coming, every other attendant is coming and seeing. There were about 100 people from the hospital who came in contact with the patient. 50 of them had such contact that they have to be put inside. We have put them in a separate building. They will stay there for at least 14 days and they are being tested. We have done a test is done on day 5 and day 14. Day 5 test is negative in all of them, but they have to be kept there till day 14. Also, a lot of people are busy planning for all this and doing other things. We have been given the job of being a mentor institute for about 70 labs that are functioning in southern part of the country. My doctors are also doing that. They cannot go, but they are doing it all the time on phone and internet, looking at their labs and making sure. Also, if we get more patients, please understand, if we get them, so in that ward where the patient was, there were 25 other patients. They have also got exposed. Some of those patients could be ready for going home, but we cannot discharge them till they complete 14 days and we show that they are negative. So let us look at it slightly differently. Let's forget about medicine. I need a haircut. Okay. Am I willing to go to a salon and get a haircut done today? Okay, I stay alone. I have taken a scissors, cut myself, right? Why? For any minor thing, I do not want to come in touch with anybody. Same way for patients. If I have gallstones that need surgery, if it can be postponed for 6 months, it is best to postpone that surgery. Every time a patient comes for surgery, I have to give anesthesia. During anesthesia, when you open patient's mouth, put in a tube into the lung, the secretions that go, put everybody inside the OT, about 20-25 people at a risk of infection. If those people get infected, that OT will close anyway. Okay. The instructions are that in every team, 50% doctors are supposed to be kept away from patients. These are instructions. So that if today the dialysis ward doctors get affected, it should not happen that everybody gets, if a patient has, that everybody gets infected and after that there will be no doctor available for doing dialysis, there will be no technician available. So we are supposed to keep 50% people in reserve. Okay, they are doing something else, but they are not seeing patients. So they are doing teleconsultation. They are doing other things. Okay. So please understand, this is all over the country. If the more specialized you are, for us, if you are a general doctor, things are easier. If you have a person who's a dialysis expert, I have 3 faculty members and I have 6 residents. Some of them are busy in the COVID ward because those patients also have kidney failure, so they are there. Some of them are seeing patients and some of them are kind of reserve and doing teleconsultation. If I put all in the OPD, normally in the OPD 5 or 6 of them sit. If a patient comes and tomorrow he is found to have this, all 6 of them will have to be quarantined and the hospital will stop. Okay. It is very difficult to explain all this, but these are the processes that specialized hospitals are supposed to follow. Please don't compare JIPMER with other hospitals. Look at All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. They are only doing teleconsultation. They are not even they are thinking that they will start calling patients to OPD, but they are not starting. We are starting that from tomorrow. Look at PGI Chandigarh. They are only seeing some pregnant patients in the OPD. They are not seeing anybody else. Okay. So specialized hospitals are slightly different. Please look at us slightly differently. The parts of JIPMER which are not that specialized, the rural health center, urban health center, we never stopped. They are working exactly as they were all through. Emergency is working. We have about 1900 beds. At any given time, the number of We have 600 patients in the hospital. 1/3 of beds are full. We are still doing about 15 to 25 deliveries, including 8 to 10 cesareans every day. Okay. But yes, for small things, we cannot see patients. Neonatology, newborn ICU, it is full. Okay, because we realize nobody else can do that. Okay, dialysis, that is going on. The nephrology department is calling patients who are transplant patients, okay, on phone, giving them advice on phone. Even before we started, the doctors are calling those patients because they know those patients' phone numbers. So whatever is essential, we are trying to do. Trauma patients come, we are looking at them, we are doing everything. Okay, fortunately trauma is anyway less, so this is good. No, very few accidents now, but so we are trying to do that. Okay.
After getting message from public, can you arrange ambulance to public?
Does JIPMER send ambulances? No. JIPMER does not send ambulances. That has not been a practice earlier. We are not equipped for that. Okay. We have never been sending ambulances. That is done by the state has an ambulance service 108. So please use that. That is okay.
You are not using your JIPMER ambulance to COVID-19.
So our drivers are busy to drive our staff. Staff is not able to come. There is no public transport. So they are driving buses to bring staff from home and dropping staff at home. There is COVID patients being transported across the hospital. Okay, they need to wear a lot of things. So we were never actually bringing patients from home by ambulance. Thank you.